All right, we have Cambered Bar Press, and Dev's going to use his full comp setup. That means if you have a bench setup where you have tight legs, you have a high chest, I want you to use that one. Here we go. Perfectly set up. Now the cambered bar adds a lot more range of motion, and that means we actually have to use the technique a little bit differently than we normally would use our bench press technique. So Dev, just come down slowly. If you've got a full comp setup and it's working for you, you should be able to make it pretty much to your chest well. But there's a few things that we want to watch for. The first one is we want to make sure that our elbow stack is maintained. So Dev, do you want to descend and then towards the bottom, just kind of dump the bar forward a little bit? See how his elbow moved back there? That is an extremely common signal that you've gone too far down, too far down for your shoulder mobility to actually allow for that position. And that's because the camber bar, even though it's just a few inches, it makes a gigantic difference in the range of motion your shoulder actually has to travel through. And when a shoulder goes too far out of its range, it will anterior tilt, it will roll forward in the socket. And that's where you see the bar lose that stack by dumping the elbow or the hands forward. Dev, one more time, just to show him how to not do it. That was clean, that was a good rep. And then do one where you've dumped forward into your shoulder. Fantastic, well done. Rack there. Nick, can you bring the camera forward? So depending on your mobility, you might want a wider or a closer grip. However, most people, I would recommend starting with a bit of a closer grip. Now you can see this bar's got knurling right here, and then it's got a smooth part. What we would actually want to do is we probably want to put the index finger on the smooth part. Dev's pretty flexible and he's got a high chest, so he's got a lot of range of motion even with a wider grip. But for the common man, not man like Devin, we might want a little bit of a closer grip. If you've got really flexible pecs, you might want to go a little bit wider, right? Play around with it, make sure it feels comfortable first, and make sure you can get full range of motion without anterior tilting into the bottom. Once you've got those two things down, the setup of the actual bench technique you typically use usually carries the rest of the way.